Hello everybody, welcome to this fourth video on getting started with BTP for ABAP developers. In our last video, we talked about when this buzzword BTP as in Business Technology Platform came into picture and how the rebranding happened from SCP as in SAP Cloud Platform to BTP as in Business Technology Platform. And today we are going to talk about the technical aspects of SAP BTP. Now let's wear our developer's hat and understand the various technical aspects of SAP BTP. As we all know that we as in developers understand technical terms better such as coding, program, language, runtime, database and API. So let's decode SAP BTP for developers. Assume you are a developer at an SAP partner or a customer and you have been handed over the responsibility to build a new cloud solution or to extend an existing SAP solution. So let's try to gather a wish list of the developers to fulfill this requirement and see how SAP BTP will address the same. So to start off this project immediately or this requirement immediately, you will need a platform as a service which will help you to build and deploy the cloud solutions without any kind of a local installation. And this platform should allow you to choose any programming language of your choice. And that's what excites the developers nowadays, right? You should be able to choose any kind of programming language that you really love and wish to. So technically, SAP BTP, as we all have been heard about, and across all these 3 to 4 videos, we understand that SAP BTP is actually a platform as a service, and SAP BTP provides all the different 3 kinds of environments, that is Cloud Foundry, ABAP and Kaima, and we did discuss about all of these environments in our last video in detail as to what is the different benefits or what are the features that you get while you try to develop or utilize these different environments to develop your applications. So all these environments gives you the options to choose any programming language in the world and gives you a ready-made platform to build and deploy any cloud solution. Whether you want to leverage your ABAP programming language, you can make use of an ABAP environment, or you want to make use of any open source programming language, you can make use of Cloud Foundry environment, and you want to avail or make use of containerized runtimes, then you can go for Kubernetes Kaima runtime environment. Second, as a developer, you need a ready-made development environment where all the plugins such as command line interface as in CLI tools, build tools and test tools are pre-installed as in pre-packaged and pre-installed. So with respect to this ready-made development environment, SAP BTP provides a service called SAP Business Application Studio, which gives you a ready-made development environment with the help of which you can start coding for your solution in no time, and the best part is you do not need to install or configure anything. Now let's talk a bit more about Business Application Studio. So in the year 2020, SAP unveiled SAP Business Application Studio, the new cloud-based development environment for SAP's multi-cloud environment strategy, as in either for AWS, Azure, Alibaba Cloud, and even for your SAP BTP trial environment. And actually, your Business Application Studio is an evolution of SAP Web IDE. SAP Business Application Studio is actually a modern development environment tailored for efficient development of business applications for your intelligent enterprise applications, and those applications could be either SAP Fiori or applications based on SAP S/4HANA extensions or modeling or workflows or mobile applications, to name a few. BAS, that is the short form of SAP Business Application Studio, it actually takes the developer experience to a whole new level. It offers more value, better time to market with a lot of enhanced capabilities, and improved extensibility framework, and a lot more content is available with BAS. And the best part is it embraces the experience of Microsoft Visual Studio Code, making the developer more productive as soon as the App Studio is used. With the help of BAS, as in BAS, we can develop applications in Java, Node.js, and you can also make use of command line interface as in CLI with terminal. What was the additional motivation that SAP really came into picture with BAS? So the additional motivation behind Business Application Studio was to provide a development environment that can be made available for various hyperscalers across various regions, which is well aligned with SAP's multi-cloud strategy. So what is the value proposition that you get with Business Application Studio? So Business Application Studio provides turnkey solutions, what we call as dev spaces. Dev spaces are like isolated VMs or virtual machines in the cloud that can be instantly spinned up, where we can efficiently develop, test, build and run the solutions. Each dev space type contains tailored tools and pre-installed runtime for various target scenarios such as SAP Fiori or mobile development. And so we can say that dev spaces are at the heart of the SAP Business Application Studio. It is simplified and it saves time in setting up the development environment, as you do not need to install anything or upgrade, and the best part is it allows or lets the developers focus on their business domain anytime or anywhere. The third value proposition that you get is integration with additional services or solution, either on-prem or on cloud, or leveraging various SAP technologies such as SAP API Business Hub, or SAP solutions for data consumption and app development, or SAP technologies such as SAP UI5 or Cloud Application Programming Model, and commonly other use technologies such as Java, Node.js and OData. And last but not the least, of course, Business Application Studio comes with many high productivity tools that accelerate the app development, such as readily available templates, wizards, optimized codes and graphical editor, local test run options, multiple deployment options, CLI terminal access and many more, to name a few. So SAP Business Application Studio is built on open source and leading industry standards. Let's talk a bit about the big picture related to Business Application Studio and a kind of an evolution to Web IDE. So here basically you need a developer having access to a machine with a browser, and this machine should be connected to an internet. So if you see here, the App Studio is actually based off a browser based access. At the center we can see the dev spaces of different types. Let's consider the dev space related to SAP Fiori development. So it includes a file system where the code is actually stored. So you can definitely store the code here, but our recommendation, and even as per SAP recommendation, it is to connect to a Git source code repository, and there is a development environment which is a kind of an IDE based open source, and this dev space includes all the different tools required for this scenario such as SAP Fiori. So with the pre-packaged extensions, and if any additional tools are needed, we can customize the dev space and add additional extensions. Your BAS can connect to various data sources, either on-prem or on cloud, SAP and non-SAP, and any such data sources. Finally, when the development is complete on the dev space, the app can be either tested locally in a dev space for first dev test cycle in a simulated runtime environment, or you can easily pre-package and deploy it to a target runtime in an actual runtime such as SAP BTP Cloud Foundry or on your on-prem ABAP. So now the interesting question is, you would be excited to know about what's actually the difference that you get as compared to Web IDE, because a lot of you would have been working along with Web IDE on cloud or the Web IDE, the personal Web IDE one, but definitely there should be a high level comparison, right, as to what actually you get in BAS as compared to your Web IDE. First, if I speak about availability, so if you see with respect to BAS, it is available on SAP BTP Cloud Foundry environment, And with respect to Web IDE, it is available on SAP BTP Neo environment. So one important thing to note is Web IDE is not at all available in your Cloud Foundry environment. So with the Cloud Foundry environment, the only development environment that you need to use is your SAP Business Application Studio. Now talking about the second high level comparison with respect to deployment, if I talk about SAP BTP, and so basically with respect to deployment, for Business Application Studio, it can be either on SAP BTP Cloud Foundry or on-prem ABAP environment, and even on your SAP BTP ABAP environment. Whereas with respect to Web IDE, it is only on Cloud Foundry and Neo and on-prem ABAP. Now talking about the experience, definitely your BAS embraces Visual Studio Code and you get an experience with desktop-like experience in the cloud. Whereas with respect to Web IDE, it is a browser-based experience. And definitely last but not the least, BAS is based on open source and leading industry standards, whereas Web IDE is SAP proprietary framework with limited number of extensions available only. So let's make our business more intelligent by developing on your cloud-based IDE such as SAP Business Applications. Now coming back to the technical aspects of SAP BTP, wherein we talked about the ready-made development environment as in your Business Application Studio. Now let's talk about the third technical aspect. So as a developer, you wish for a setup where all the builds and deployments can be done in one click, right? And we just talked about with the features that are available with SAP Business Application Studio, where with one click, as in with MTA build tool, MBT, or BTP command line interface, it simplifies all the build and deployment. There is no need for the developer to spend hours in building and deploying your code. Now talking about the fourth technical aspect, one of the major requirement of a cloud solution is database as a service, which will help to fulfill all data related requirement, either be it storing huge amount of data or processing structured as well as unstructured data, or providing real-time access to data from multiple sources, right? So in this regards, SAP BTP provides a cloud effective variant of SAP HANA database called SAP HANA Cloud, which is your one service to solve all your data related requirement. Now let me talk a bit more about your SAP HANA Cloud. It's actually a modern database as a service which is powering the next generation of intelligent data applications and analytics across enterprise data. So it actually provides a single place to access, store, and process all enterprise data in real time. It's actually a cloud native platform that reduces the complexity of multi-cloud or hybrid system landscapes. It provides all of the advanced SAP HANA technologies for multi-model data processing in memory or on disk. And the best part is that we can benefit from cloud qualities such as automatic software updates or elasticity or low total cost of ownership by using it as either as a standalone solution or an extension to existing on-prem environment. So SAP HANA Cloud, as in your database as a service, allows you to consume the SAP HANA database from applications running on SAP BTP as well as from applications running on on-prem or other cloud services using the standard SAP HANA clients. So the SAP HANA Cloud provides simplified data access to connect all your information without the need to have all the data loaded onto a single storage solution. Now let me share a bit more information about if we compare SAP HANA Cloud with SAP HANA on-prem. One difference that you would have easily understood with respect to upgrade is that here in terms of on-prem, you need to take care about all the upgrades and all, right? As in you need to have a dedicated team to take care about the upgrades and all. But with respect to cloud, you need not worry about that. So the upgrades and all will be taken care by the cloud itself. Then second, with respect to the hardware, you need to have your own hardware as well as software. You need to maintain the same. Whereas the best part is you need not have any additional hardware or software with respect to SAP HANA Cloud. Then the best part is that you have got a lot of maintenance and other options available as a part of SAP HANA Cloud as a kind of a scheduled possibilities. Whereas with respect to SAP HANA, you need to accordingly plan as per the schedules and all. So these are the high level overall differences that you see with respect to SAP HANA Cloud versus SAP HANA, and I hope you would have gotten a fair bit of understanding about how actually SAP HANA as in database as a service, how actually it helps to build the data part for building an intelligent enterprise ready-made applications, and how it actually helps you to build across the data applications and analytics across enterprise data. So before we proceed forward to the two other technical aspects of SAP BTP, let me show you the community homepage related to SAP Business Application Studio, where you will find a lot of insightful and important information about how to get started with SAP BTP. And so if you want to get started with SAP BTP, come to this community homepage and go to this developers.sap.com tutorials as to how you can set up your SAP BAS for development onto your SAP BTP environment. So, and the other important link that I want to talk about is your Discovery Center, where if you want to understand and know more about how you can get access to SAP BTP from various pricing and your offering perspective, do not worry, we will talk about this pricing and the offering from your BTP perspective, and then you will understand more about what are the different consumptions models, or what's actually a free tier or a trial perspective. But as of now, just understand that there are different various pricing models available, but do not worry. There is a free tier or a trial versions available, and you can definitely go ahead and try that free tier or trial version for SAP Business Application Studio. Definitely there would be certain restrictions with respect to certain regions and availability and all, but not to worry. Even for trying it out from a first hands-on perspective, you will get a lot of insightful information. Then there are a lot of related missions and a roadmap available with respect to Business Application Studio, like as in which particular quarter, what all updates have been released, what is the roadmap, and various other customer stories. So definitely explore actually these two links to understand more about SAP Business Application Studio and how to get started with Business Application Studio. Now coming back to the technical aspects of SAP BTP. So talking about the fifth aspect, you all know that developers love to focus on solving complex business requirements and writing the best algorithm that is suited for solving that complex business requirement. So SAP BTP provides frameworks like SAP Cloud Application Programming Model and RESTful Application Programming Model, which actually minimizes the developer's job. It literally helps developer focus only on business logic, and it takes care of everything else. And regards to RESTful Application Programming Model, we are soon launching a training to talk and understand about RESTful Application Programming Model. So if you are new and you want to understand about RESTful Application Programming Model, or you want to get upskilled or cross-skilled in RESTful Application Programming Model, definitely go ahead and search for and hear more about our upcoming training on RESTful Application Programming Model. Now, talking about the last technical aspect, that is, as a developer, you should look out for services which simplifies integration, right? Nobody wants to spend hours in integrating and maintaining the system. That's a big boost that you get as one of the technical aspect of SAP BTP. So SAP BTP provides a bundle of services under the SAP Integration Suite umbrella, which helps you to seamlessly integrate any SAP or non-SAP solutions, as in non-SAP systems and applications. So that was about the various technical aspects related to SAP BTP, and I hope you would have got a lot of insightful information as to why SAP Business Application Studio came into picture as an evolution of Web IDE, what's actually SAP HANA Cloud, and how does it make a difference with respect to SAP HANA as a database, how actually SAP HANA Cloud provides great intelligent features with respect to SAP HANA database as a service, and look forward to our upcoming video where we will talk about the different key pillars related to SAP BTP, which will comprise all these technical aspects and a lot of other information that we have talked about in an earlier video. Thank you for watching. Do keep on supporting us and subscribing us to get to hear a lot of such information about getting started with SAP BTP for ABAP developers.